Over the weekend, Master P and his son Romeo got into it on social media after Romeo shared a poem titled The Tree of Trauma, where he would claim that his father has curated a picture-perfect image of himself and his family that has done more harm than good. Now, this all started after Master P posted a video of the late DJ Twitch, who committed suicide last week. Romeo's issue with his father reportedly came from his father neglecting the mental health struggle of his own children while addressing the same struggles of someone he doesn't know. Master P would take offense to Romeo's post and fire back at him on social media saying, "This new generation of kids need to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do you think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices for them? Mental illness is real, and many families are tragically affected by it, especially when there are added trauma like death of a loved one." Master P would end up publicly apologizing to his son online, but not before social media took sides on the issue. Some would take the side of Romeo and others would take Master P's side, including Charleston White. Today we have our company hype analysts, Capone and Pierre, calling in to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Say, listen, somebody tag Master P. Somebody tag Master P right now. I stand with Master P, homie, as a black father. See, when you got one of them old spoiled ass kids like that little boy Romeo, little spoiled motherfucker. Nigga, your daddy took $10,000 from an insurance policy and became a multi-millionaire for you to grow up. Nigga, you really like a Nickelodeon baby. Now, I'm saying, f*** you, Romeo Miller. Nigga, I'm with your daddy on this one. When them kids grow up and go to talking how Romeo talking, take his motherfucking ass out the wheel. And he's struggling from check to check. He dumb and stupid. And listen, didn't the boy go to college? Say, Romeo, listen, nigga, you went to college. Your daddy put you in a position, nigga, where your daddy ain't got to give you nothing, nigga. I just heard Master P, nigga, and it break my heart that a nigga son will grow up and bite on him like the way you biting on your daddy. Your daddy done put you in position, right? Didn't you have a rap album? You say, well, I ain't got no money because my daddy had to pay taxes. Who been feeding your long head ass? Then you complaining about, we've been staying in the same house since I was 18. Say, stupid ass kid. That's a sign of a man that has stability, that's stable. You know how many people wish they can stay in the same motherfucking household from when they were 18 years old? Nigga, that mean your father have been stable with stability, maintaining what he done got. Nigga, why? Come here and say, man, me and my son will fall out like a motherfucker. Nigga, I done pumped this dick off. Why done pumped this cum off into your mama? Boy, you know how hard a nigga got to work to bust a nut to make a baby, to get one of you motherfucking ass here, and then when you get here, nigga, your daddy is a millionaire. But when I hate you, you don't know what it's like, nigga, to go to bed hungry.
Now, of course, I want to get y'all's reaction to Charleston White, but I also want your thoughts on Romeo feeling neglected by Master P after he shouted out DJ Twitch. Pierre, I'm going to start with you because I hear you loud and clear already.
I didn't hear nothing else after he before. I forgot everything he said before he started getting into how hard it was to bust a nut. God Lord. But first of all, what age he talking about, nigga? Okay, come on. When you young, it ain't all that hard to bust one of them. Maybe when you in your 50s, nigga, okay? But nigga, I done had kids all over the place, okay? And I don't mean necessarily real kids, but I'm talking about all of my room, my hotel room and shit, my floor, my bathroom, okay? So it ain't that hard, motherfucker, okay? When I was younger. But now that I'm old, all right. So that you can always rely on Charleston White to give you some entertainment. There's a message inside that, but some entertainment. I agree with him too. Yeah, I agree with him. Now, this maybe these people who listen to comedy are part of the Romeo crowd who feel entitled and neglected and so forth. You know, however he feels. But I agree with what Charleston White said about his fathers. You know, setting him up in life to win. Now, you can set someone up to win, but at the end of the day, a parent needs to, you know, be around their child and give them nurturing too. Just give them a place to stay and a shelter and food and money and set them up and stuff. If you're not giving them also parental, you know, what do you call it? Like feelings and stuff. A kid can feel neglected, man, no matter how much money how you set them up. It's not always about money. So I see the both sides of it, you know. So.
Absolutely. Capone, let me bring you in. I'd love to get your reaction to Charleston White's clip, but also I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on Romeo feeling neglected by Master P after he shouted out DJ Twitch?
Charleston White, I can honestly say I don't usually agree with that kid, especially the way he talks about kids. But on this case, he was really 100% right. And, I've been going through that myself with my own children. So I definitely can feel, I kind of agree with Pierre and then I kind of don't. You can't be at two places one time. And unfortunately, I will admit, I was a street guy. I was a drug dealer, but I made sure that my kids had everything. I wasn't the guy at the baseball games. I wasn't the guy at the basketball games, but I provided for them every way possible, which meant either I'm at your basketball game and we don't eat, or I'm out getting food for you to eat and you just play your game. So it's a double-edged sword, and it was kind of hard for me being a dude in the streets.
Well, let me say something real quick. This happened to me in a marriage, and I made a joke about it. But, when I was married to my wife, I was coming up in this business, and I was humping and running around doing everything I could. And I bought my wife all kind of stuff. We had a secure house, cars, jewelry, everything. And at the end of my marriage, when my wife was getting one divorce, I was like, whoa, I gave you everything. I gave you everything. I mean, you got all this, blah, blah, blah. And she looked at me, she said, yeah, but you didn't give me time. And when she said that, it all made sense to me. I was like, damn. She said, yeah, you didn't give me time. And so sometimes people want time more than all the other materialistic stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's just digress. So next time I get with a woman, I ain't buying her shit. I'm just going to give her time. We're going to spend time together. And now she wants something. Like, now I'm going to sit around and get to know each other even more and more. Let's go get something to eat. Now I'm going to sit home and just talk about it. Okay, we're going to spend time together, sitting in his house.
So that actually brings up another question. And Pierre, I'll start with you. So we know, another conversation that's been in the news, and I'll continue this story, but just another conversation is, of course, Nick Cannon having, more and more kids, and, that thing being about time, being able to financially provide for them. So do you think, this should be a wake-up call, or, Nick Cannon should be mindful as he continues, whether, he continues to expand on how many children he has, or if he stops where he is, but being mindful of that?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if the kids grow up and regret him and regret that they didn't have time with their father, yes. If he finds a way to spend time with them, sometime, time, you don't have to be with your child every second of the day, but if you spend time with them and they go up to be balanced children and good children and have a good life, then who are we to say? Only time will tell if that works. You know what I'm saying? We won't know. Some people have grown up to be okay when their parents wasn't there every 5 minutes. There's mothers who have to go to work and be out of the house all the time, or you say your grandma's house, and they grew up to be okay. So I don't know if time is the only thing that makes it work. Because sometimes you don't put the right time, you spend time with them, but not the right type of time with them, you waste the time. You know what I'm saying? You're in the same house, but you don't spend time with each other, could be a bad thing too. So I don't know.
Absolutely. Capone, Capone, let me get your thoughts on that. And just to add some context, so recently, while speaking on, the passing of his son, he kind of talked about, spreading himself too thin. Nick Cannon feels like he's been spreading himself too thin, not really available to be there when he needs to. So I love your thoughts on that too, Capone. What do you think? Do you think that he should also be mindful, now that we're seeing situations like this kind of come to light?
Yeah. Spreading itself thin is an understatement. I mean, I was in that same predicament as well. And I just think that part of it is the woman's fault when Nick Cannon is out there being advertised as he is. And to be a woman and still trying to have his child after all of this situation that's happening, I blame the woman as well. I'm not trying to sound like a feminist, but at some point you got to say, well, I don't think it would be a good idea to have a baby by somebody I know is not going to be there with quality time. That's what I'm thinking about that.
Absolutely. It sounds like you're just talking about responsibility and being able to step into that. Now, speaking of that, as mentioned, Master P would, of course, come to social media to respond, and he actually would apologize to Romeo. So I want to take a look at that clip and come back and get you all's reaction.
Today is a sad day because I got to get out of character and put this on the internet, which I don't want to do. But I try to call my son. People say, why you call? I did. He don't call back. It's been months. So my question is to Romeo. Like, if you've been in the business for long as you've been in, and if you've been around me, watching me hustle and do my thing, why you not where you want to be at? Because that means you're not listening. But you can't get mad at me because I really thought this was about, the only reason I entertained this on social media, I thought it was about the DJ Twitch post I put up, and I thought it was about my daughter's death. I thought you was grieving. Mental illness is real. But I want to tell all the people out there that just don't understand how bad my heart hurt. Romeo lost a sister, but I lost a daughter. And for any parent that's going through this, because I know that it bring people closer together or it tear them apart. I come from nothing, y'all. And I could go back. I'm cool with it. I won't be angry at God. I won't be upset. I won't go get mad and be disrespectful to my parents and none of that stuff. But that's the problem. When you take kids and you kind of like protect them from the real struggle and the pain, and you don't allow them to deal with their own consequences. And then when they grow older, you never gave me nothing. At 30-something, man, people could go back and look, you've been shining for a long time, son. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me or come to the house and holler at me. The saddest thing about this is what the people want to see. They want to see destruction. So if you destroy me, what are you going to do for the rest of the family? On the post that you put up, you go take care of people in the community. That's what you're supposed to do when you come from nothing. You go help people. I'm just not helping ungrateful people. I'm not an ATM machine. People can't just say they love me when I give them something. I love my family. My door is always open for my son. To be honest, because we shouldn't have to go through this. And if I'm wrong, forgive me. I'm apologizing to you. I'm still a work in progress. I come from nothing. Everybody go through trauma. I'm dealing with this right now, but I love going out into the community and helping people.
Pierre, let me bring this back to you. I know you've already added your thoughts, but I'd love to expand on that a little bit. After seeing the clip from Master P, of course, I love your reactions, but also, do you agree with what he's saying?
Yeah, for one thing, I don't have a problem with him going to social media. It started from social media, you know what I'm saying? You can see the hurt in him. He has a valid point. If you've watched me and see how I rock and roll, if you're not financially stable, man, I gave you a startup, a situation. You've been put in a better situation than most people have been put. Let's be honest. He had nowhere near the struggle what he had to, to get to where he had to get to, Romeo being, because of his father laying it up to him. Now, if you're not financially secure now, then you made a lot of mistakes, again, that's the situation. I can see the hurt in Romeo by saying, hey, man, you're talking about someone else's mental situation, but not ours. But I don't think he should have put that online. I think he could take that at home and say, yo, Dad, why would you do that? Opposed to blasting him on, the father, I guess he's trying to say, father out there trying to cap, for someone else's death and not the kid's death. Maybe he wanted to hold it in more, quiet. When something affects you differently, you might want to hold that in quietly. My daughter died, I might keep it to myself, but someone else dies, I might talk about that. Am I wrong because I don't parade my daughter's death in front of everybody, how I feel about it? I might want to grieve quietly because it's more personal than Twitch is. Twitch can be bad, I can feel a certain way, but don't say I got to talk my daughter's stuff out also as I talk about Twitch and stuff. Them two different things, you know what I'm saying? Same people dying, committing suicide. I guess the daughter committed suicide, but her death. But the son to go there and blast his father like that, you know what I'm saying? That's a kind of different kind of character. But these young kids nowadays, young, yes, under 40, are in that. I'm going to say what I want to say and get it all out. All right, well, welcome to the party. Welcome to the circus. This is what we got here. It's a circus.
Man. Now, Capone, before I come to you, I just want to make sure I give our audience exactly, just in case people aren't familiar with this story, exactly how it all started and what it sounded like. So Master P did post, as Pierre mentioned, for the passing of DJ Twitch. Here's what he had to say. He said, RP to the one and only dancing DJ Twitch, and salute Snoop Dogg for celebrating him. These are crazy times we're living in. You can be smiling one day and gone the next. He was supposed to be a guest DJ on a concert we were having on January the 13th. Life is too short. Appreciate your loved ones. Mental illness is real. Shout out to Post Malone. And he would also shout out Dre London coming together with me for the cause. Now, Romeo would respond to that and say, today was a boiling point. I seen a man avoid his own children, struggle with suicide and depression, but post another man who passed today that he doesn't even know. Y'all idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed. Now, I just wanted to make sure I set that up just to give our audience some context to exactly what Pierre was adding and what you'll add as well, Capone. So let me come to you, Capone, after, seeing Master P speak to it, and he apologized as well. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on it? And do you agree with him?
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with him. And you can hear the pain in his voice. Master P is a very stern dude, and the pain, and I recognize the pain because I personally dealt with that. I don't know if I can say this, but my daughter asked me for some money, and I went to go give her the money. We got into a little confrontation, a disagreement. I didn't give her the money. The next thing you know, on social media, she talked about me and she said that I hope my father dies by sucking an AIDS-infested dick. And I cannot tell you how much that hurt me for the simple fact that, you know, the conversation wasn't that serious. It was just like, you know, when are you going to get your stuff together? And so, you know, you're old enough now. And every time I turn around, there's something else and this and that. And so that led to that thing. And she apologized, but until this day, that apology bounced off of me. It hurt. It hurt when I read it. And, you know, a couple of remarks on it. And yeah, so I felt this pain very much so.
Absolutely. And I'm so sorry you had to experience that, but I do appreciate, you know, you being vulnerable and being able to share that. So I'm going to actually kick this next question to you because, you know, in the clip, Master P also mentions, hey, I have reached out to Romeo. He hasn't responded. So now I'm coming to social media when I don't want to, just to get a message to my son, you know, to say I'm not perfect. I do apologize. So I'd love to get your thoughts. One, what's the solution here? And two, how do you feel about them handling it on social media, Capone?
Well, I don't think social media was the way, but that was the only way he could respond because Romeo didn't accept his calls. Again, you know, I know that situation also very well. And the mere fact of when a child, and I say child because they're younger than us and they're our children, when they have the ability to tell you that they don't want to talk to you or they don't want to speak to you about it, then you have the right to neglect what you need to neglect to move past it yourself. Because I, as a child, with my mother and my grandmother, I don't care how mad I got, you know, the communication always stayed there. I might have been furious at something, but I'm never going to not answer their calls. I'm never going to be disrespectful to that point. I mean, I don't care how angry I was. And I would call my grandmother and mother every day until their death. And so, you know, these kids feel like they're right. They don't want to talk things out. And once they're angry, you can't really tell them nothing.
Absolutely. Pierre, let me come to you with that same question. One, I know you kind of touched on this a little bit, but how do you feel about them handling this on social media? And two, what do you think the solution is? Well, you know, what do you think the solution can be?
Well, I agree with Cap, and I was gonna kind of talk the same way about it. Times have changed, and I'm not gonna say always for the better. There was a hierarchy in a family, especially, I'm gonna go with Black family, but especially the father, the mother, the kids, whatever. We knew the rules. And I don't see the badness of kids in the, you know, growing up in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, a lot of kids grew up healthy. You know what I'm saying? Pretty healthy. Now, people don't hate to say, no, compared to these kids now, this toxicness of these children now. I blame white people, and I'm gonna tell you why. Especially white women, because they kept pushing, let the kids speak, let the kids do what they want. Kids get to do that. And then Black families started seeing that and said, well, I guess we got to do it too. Black kids started saying, well, Joey gets to talk crazy. When I grew up, it was like, what Joey's talking about. You in this Black household, homie, you're not going to do that. That's not what's going to happen. So then what they talking about. But they kept pushing and giving kids certain rights and talking. Let the kids say what they want, do what they want. There were certain ways that you didn't have, you know, you had to learn how to be raised. You know, parents said, this is how I'm the father, I'm the mother, you listen to me, you don't talk back, you don't do this. This is what it is. And kids came out pretty fine. Every child didn't come out fine, but it's a lot better than this happening now where these kids are, I don't know, I need a safe space, I'm going crazy, because there's no control over it. Kids are getting to do what they want. And somebody infused that into especially Black kids saying, well, Joey, a little Tyrone, Tariq, you get to talk when you want to talk. Don't worry about it. Some teacher, some white teacher, whatever. Because black mothers and Black teachers don't let kids do like that. They didn't let, but if society pushes that, lets kids do what they want, this is what you get. You get them coming on social media, snapping on their parents like they some old, you know, like we some equal. You're not equal to your child. Your child is not equal to you. Kids, you're not. That's your mother. That's your grandmother. Have a certain amount of respect. Don't be like, well, they don't respect me. But respect the fact that they may not have been through what you have, but you cannot go and tell them how you want and how you feel in front of everybody and try to embarrass them. And then say, well, man, that's what I do. I'm young. I get to have my own voice and opinion. Well, then you know what? Go out here in these streets and handle it yourself. When you're handling yourself, you're crying, you're suicidal. You're like, I don't know, because you don't have a family structure no more. You're on outside of your family doing your thing. When you do your thing, when you're too young, you'll see how this world really is, how much your parents did protect you.
Absolutely. And I just want to make sure that I opt in, even though I am a 90s baby, I just want to opt in that era of still saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and respecting my, you be trying to come for me. But no, I do want to read something that Romeo did post in response to in his poem. So he said, how if I really speak my truth, my family legacy will crumble. That's like telling a boxer he has no right to rumble. Imagine telling a butterfly she has no right to fly, then that butterfly has died before she has even died. Why is being right to strangers so much more important than being vulnerable at home? Probably because that little boy is just in a body that's grown. Heal, kid, heal, excuse me. It's the only way to really feel. Why is it that I'm soaring and my siblings are not? Probably because our father didn't give them the same time on the clock. Chase the money or chase the family. You can't do both because now you're gambling. So that was just, him speaking on exactly how he's been feeling. But, I think there is some truth in finding that balance on how to communicate. It is unfortunate that it has to be on social media because nobody wins when the family feuds. So I hope to, see this unravel and hopefully something beautiful comes of it. But as always, I appreciate both of you for chiming in on this topic. Before we head out, of course, I'd like to know what you have going on. So Capone, I'm going to start with you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Well, I want to start off with my poem. Romeo, Romeo, you should have handled this in the right place. It shouldn't have been on social media. You should have done this face to face. You see now things are really problematic with people's opinion at all. There's no way to come up unless you communicate with your father. The only way to go is to fall. Oh.
Deep.
Damn. Cool, brother.
What do you have coming up, Capone? I'm gonna add poet.
Tomorrow night, I'm gonna be in the Bronx with the New York Kings. We are Salsa con Fuego. One show is sold out. The other one is just about to be sold out. If you're watching this now and you're from New York, Brooklyn, get your tickets. The New York King is giving a special Christmas show at Salsa con Fuego. Rob Stapleton, Mark Vieira, Talent, and myself, the New York Kings. And if you want to follow me, everybody, listen to me, because I need to build my followers up. I don't ever say this, but I do want to build my followers up. So, you spell comedian and then Capone. Pick one that you can spell first and then put it up there. Comedian Capone, and we'll stay in touch. I don't use nobody to deal with my social media. I'm one-on-one with you. So, and tune in to my new show that's back. It's called Cap Back. Tonight, it'll be at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. We're going to have to change your name to Poet Capone, but I love it.
I was killing them. You saw the snap snip?
I saw it. I felt it. Pierre, I'm going to kick it over to you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
The new name is Capoet. Okay. Okay, cool. Get it up for Capoet. All right. Hey, I'll be on a cruise starting tomorrow, 7-day cruise. Actually doing comedy on a cruise, so we're gonna see how that turn out. Follow me at Comedy Pierre, Comic Pierre, COMICPIERRE. Just be safe out here for the holidays, man. Just be careful, So that's really it right now. That's it, right? Just and my podcast on YouTube and on Comic Pierre, and continue to support. Thank y'all for supporting my micro special at Comedy Plus HypePlusTV.com. My half truths. Thank y'all for supporting that, man. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna, keep on rocking out.
Absolutely. I love it. Safe travels and well wishes to both of you. I know this is our last week wrapping up the show for the year, so I'm super excited to wrap this up. As always, I appreciate you both so much for chiming in on the topic. But you heard from us. Now we'll hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of Charleston White defending Master P against Romeo? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in those comments.
Put it in the comments.
Guess what? Comedy Hype gave me a special. 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 Comedy Hype gave me a special, and it's fly as hell.